add a sewage ejector pump. The project was always designed per plumbing codes. We were going to thread a needle between where the school is and where we can get to the in-street sewer. Now, just like this site right here, it's very flat. All the utilities are very close to the surface. So we had to go over a 36-inch water main and under another smaller water to get to the sewer line, but it would have worked. However, we're concerned that we don't want to have the same issues that have been occurring with some of the other sites. So that is why the district made the decision to move forward with changing it at this point in time. Now, it's going to affect the bottom half of the site, basically the southern half of the site.
In what way? How's it going to affect?
Because that's where the way, because of the issues of the slope, the site slopes from north to south about 3 feet. The northern half of the site, we're going to the sewer that is off of the North Street, off of Main. On the south half of the site, we're going to Virginia Avenue. So just for this reason, because we could not get a single sewer attachment to flow all the way across the site. So probably getting into more complex detail than perhaps you want to know, but what the process is once the district gives us direction to go ahead and solve the problem in a manner that's agreeable upon, we have worked with our engineers, who are Carson, Barbie, Gibson, the structural or civil engineers, and BP and Associates, who's our plumbing engineer, to design the system. Once the system is designed and we're right at the point where we're just about finished with it, because this direction was received just about 4 to 6 weeks ago, then that goes out as what's called the CCD, the Construction Change Directive, that goes to the Division of the State Architect for review and approval. When that comes back, it's issued to the contractor for pricing and construction, and at that time, the on-site inspection staff, which is
that's what I'm going to ask.
Gilbert, it's his responsibility to make sure that it goes in for plans and specifications.
Why does he talk a little bit about what he does, what he's looking for, and how he gets involved in this?
Hello, my name is Chris Gilbert, I'm the Inspector of Record. For this specific issue, is what I do is I inspect and verify that the construction is built the way that the design requires. The first design required certain slopes out of the building, certain inverts to hit for the sewer as it leaves the site. We weren't able to do that at that point.
Why not?
For the reasons Kevin said, they were concerned about the slopes on the site. There was an obstruction at the street to where they were going to have to thread a needle in.
When did you first come to learn that?
When I first learned that there was an obstruction in the street as they were digging it, I was there watching them.
That first month, 2 months? How far in?
It was about first part of March.
Who learned it?
I was the first one to see it.
Why did you see it?
I saw 2 big pipes. I was talking with the contractor. We had a certain invert that we had to hit, punching into the manhole. And when he opened up the street to the manhole, there was a big 36-inch pipe and a smaller pipe in the way. And so we went to first to Kerry, told him about it, and then he reported to the architect to tell them that we had an issue punching into the manhole.
How could you have figured this out prior to construction?
I couldn't have.
Not you, but is there something anybody could have done?
Well, there's...
We've done borings, there's more things. We're just trying to learn. We need to be more extensive so that we can avert doing these during construction and have these approved designs as DSA as original. Is this going to be a big change or a cost?
Well, there are 2 separate issues there, President Ramsey. One of which is the parameters by which we were designing a solution changed as a result of lessons learned that the district has gone through, and that happens fairly regularly. Most of the time we prefer that it happen during the design stage before it goes out to bid, but there are times, particularly with technology, where we are under construction.
We're not talking about technology, we're talking about the sewer.
But as an example, where things change during construction.
No, I want to stay focused. It's not talk globally. Just stay on this issue.
Right.
What could be done differently? We run into sewage issue problems at several sites. We're going to do it because we have a lot of flat sites. We have Wilson, we have Grant, we have Steege. We have a lot of other schools that we're going to be doing work for. Pinole Valley High, which we're working with. So what's the lesson learned so that we can avert? That's why we have you here. And that's what I want to hear from you. What's the lesson learned?
The most sure way to know best surveys, we don't know until we dig them up. And so we can do destructive testing or potholing in the street at the recommended area for connection to the utilities to determine where they are.
All right, well, that's something that is useful, and that's something I want Dr. Harder to take down and talk to his team as they move forward, so that they know that maybe they do this, because guess what? Grant and Wilson right up the street. They're right up the street. Stage is just headed south. So you're at least telling the board something that's useful that we'll be able to have, because we want to avoid sewage problems, because that's a sanitation issue. And we had a performance in El Cerrito High that caused problems. We come back up, Mr. Gilbert, because you were talking about when you found it, and what's the lesson learned for you? What can we do? I finally heard something about what we can actually do as a district to try to make sure we resolve some of these issues ahead of time. But go ahead. What are some of your suggestions?
My suggestions in this particular instance, from the drawings that I had, I didn't know that it was there. We found out it was there when we dug into this.
Okay, so what's your suggestion? Do drilling, power?
I guess.
Well, don't say I guess. I'm asking you what your suggestion.
I'm not a designer. I'm an inspector.
But still, you see drawings. You've seen some that are better than others. What are recommendations you would give?
Well, maybe working with the utilities.
Okay.
Getting their maps.
Oh, great. That's a good suggestion. So working with East Bay Mud, the Steed Sanitation District, the West County Wastewater District, those kind of entities?
Yes.
Okay, that's useful. That's what we're trying, that's why we're having you here. We're not here to see a picture I would drive by every day. I live 5 blocks from this. So I'm just trying to let the board know, to educate us about what we want to see at the inception stage, because we have tons of projects under design. And these are some comments, because if it doesn't happen, we as a board said we told you, and we can hold our staff accountable for not making those changes. So go ahead, Kerry. You want to thank you. That was helpful.
Okay, we'll continue with this is the line treatment, the construction of the building pads themselves, and this is the first footings for building A.
Okay, what's a footing?
Footing is the support foundation for the structure. This is the excavation right here. The rebar goes in there, and then the concrete goes in. Those are the footings. That's the structure, the support for the entire structure right there. And you see the anchor bolts, or the bolts there that are for columns, and this is the rebar for the slab in building A right here. And this is the slab for building M. Building M is the stage area you see in the back.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Building M is what?
M is in Mary.
What is it?
It is the multi-purpose building.
Okay.
And here you have the slab for building C, which is the classroom building, and this is the steel going up on building M, the multi-purpose building.
Okay, I have a question about the multi-purpose building for the architects. What goes into the multi-purpose? What's the purpose of that building? What's it going to be used for?
There's 2 main purposes. The first purpose is cafeteria, so students will get lunch from the food service and eat inside the cafeteria, multi-purpose room. The second function is students' events, for example, performances, singing events, or fundraising.
Do they have a stage?
It has a stage.
What kind of stage?
What kind of stage?
Yeah, what kind of stage is it? Wood, steel, what is it?
Okay, it has a proscenium, and also it has steps at the front of the stage where kids can stand on it and sing and perform. It also has a stage curtain, can fully enclose and open. It also has an electronic operated projection screen that comes down that can display large venue pictures and movies and projections and things like that.
You guys have a community kitchen?
Yes, there is a communication inside, right next to the warming kitchen.
And what is a community kitchen?
The community kitchen provide a place for the parents